Hi there guys, and a Merry Christmas to you! My name is Haley-Louise and welcome to my channel. So this is a very Christmassy video. Obviously, as you can see, I've got no makeup on. You can tell from the title what this is. This is going to be a very sort of like glam Christmas makeup tutorial. Joined by my Christmas tree in the background. Are the lights going? Oh, they are. Good. That's a win for me. We are going to get Christmassy, we're going to get glam, and you are going to see me go from this to this. So to start off with, I have already prepped my skin, moisturised, all of that good stuff. Now I don't normally wear a primer, but I am going to just put a little bit on today, just around my nose area, to make sure that it stays on in this winter weather, because we all know what that's like when it starts slipping and sliding. So this is the Perfect Primer from Beautiful Bronze. So that's that one there. You can use any primer you like, any one that actually suits you. If you don't use primer, that's absolutely fine also. So I'm going to take a little tiny bit of that and just work that into the skin to start things off. So warm up in my hand, just pat on, mostly down sort of like the T-zone of my face, and then just work it in. I feel like this one is a little bit of a pore filling primer as well, so I do tend to get porridge around my nose area, which most of us do really. I hope everyone's Christmases are going really well so far. I've been doing my Vlogmas, or failing at doing my Vlogmas I should say. How's everyone's Christmas? So now that that is in, I think I usually always on myself do skin first, but considering I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, I might use darker colours, I may get it all over my face, so I'm going to start with eyes first. I am just going to, on clients, I do usually do the brows to begin with. I am going to leave mine for the time being. What I am going to do is just use a little bit of Benefit Give Me Brow. I'm pretty sure this is just a neutral brown one, and just brush up what I have there already, which isn't a lot. Right, now that that's on, I think I am going to just lay down a little bit of an eye base to just get things started. So any eye base you want. This is just a bit of a heavy duty sort of like concealer, so I'm going to just get some of that on the lid in a lighter colour than my skin tone, just so when we put some colours on, they are actually like truer versions of the colours, and we haven't got like really that my skin tone coming through. I always think this looks so weird, like when you haven't got the rest of your face on. Like when I do makeup on people, and if they catch a glimpse at themselves like this in the mirror, I'm like, don't panic, it's fine. And then just tap that in with a beauty blender. Palettes I'm going to be using today, I think I'm going to be, I've picked this one up the other day, and look at all the fingerprints on the front. Oh my goodness. So this is BH Cosmetics Glam Reflection. So this is a 15 colour eyeshadow palette. Picked this up the other day, and oh my goodness, look at that colour story. That is absolutely stunning. That just screams like Christmas glam to me. So we're definitely going to be dipping into this bad boy. I mean, I'll just rub some of the shades, like, ooh, yes. So we are definitely going to glam up today in that respect. I haven't got any wipes. And also I do have the Jeffree Star Morphe X palette, which is obviously utterly stunning as well. So I might be digging into a few shades from that, but I thought I'll get them out just to be sure. So these are the two that we are working with today. First off, we need just a light wash of colour over the lid. So unfortunately these do not have shade names as far as I'm aware. So I'm going to be dipping into this one up here, which is like a light sort of taupey brown. I'm just going to take a sort of medium-sized fluffy brush and I'm going to work that from the outer corners in and above the crease. It's almost like my skin tone shade, but like a shade or so darker. Now that that's down, that will hopefully, that should help all of our other colours like blend in together. So next I'm going to take this one again, this same palette. I am going to go into, I think I might do a little bit of a mix because I want this to be quite like a warm, we're going to go down the gold aisle, aren't we? So we want to do a real like warm, glam, smoky eye, maybe a cut crease, I'm not sure. So a smoky cut crease, that thing. Could be. I take this colour, which is like a really nice sort of like clay terracotta kind of colour, and a little bit of this sort of muted pink up here. I'm going to mix them together. I'm going to go over the area where I've already done, so sort of like in the crease and beyond. I'm just going to pack the colour on first. Don't worry about it being too precise, just near enough get it where you want it, because we're going to be blending it out, so it's no problem. I'm just going to take the same brush and I'm going to small little buffing motions, some back and forth, and blend that out. Also going to run both a mix of those under the eye as well. So we're going to do a full eye look without any skin at the minute, but just get it on there just so we've got a base down for what comes next. So we've got that colour down. Now we're going to work on putting some depth into this. So again, I am going to the BH Cosmetics palette. I am going in with this dark brown. It's quite a neutral in-between shade. I wouldn't say it's warm, I wouldn't say it's cool. It's just a real sort of like ashy brown, but it's pretty dark. So we're going to, again with the same brush, because no one's got time for multiple brush cleans at Christmas unless it's necessary. So I'm going to pack that into the corners, and then I am going to switch brushes in a minute and blend out with a fluffy brush. So where you want it, kind of bring it, I guess, like halfway, and then we're going to blend into the middle there, so you want the concentration of colour on the outside. And then just taking a fluffy brush, a clean fluffy brush, because I don't really want to add any more product to that. I might just dip in or go back and forth and fill in like if I want to add any more, but I'm just going to blend out that edge, soften it down, so we don't lose too much of that sort of pigment, but we just get a nice blend. So I'm sort of at the minute just going back and forth between blending and adding a little bit more pigment like where I want it to, and yeah, just do this until you like it. Okay, I've got more of like a flat brush. There's still a little bit of a fluff to it, but it's a little bit more sort of like dense and held together. We're going to go back into this BH Cosmetics palette. I think I'm gonna go for, we want a warm gold, so I might, you know, go for this pink. I'm gonna place that in the center of the lid. Oh, I don't know. No, I'm gonna go for this kind of like champagne-y gold down the bottom here. So I'm just going to load up the brush and pack it in place. This palette is really, really nice for actually staying in place. So we're going to do kind of like a well-placed soft cut crease. So I'm not using concealer. I am just literally going to pack that colour on using the flat side of the brush where I want it. Kind of give me that illusion of a cut crease without all of the work, because we really don't have time at Christmas, do we guys? There's other things that are happening. that we are doing. We're too busy to be cutting our crease with concealer some days. You just want to look a little bit glam. Now I do have hooded eyes, so I'm bringing this up past my natural crease and trying to give me a little bit more of a illusion of a bigger lid. And that's what we have so far, so I'm going to do exactly the same on the other eye. Now that we've got that colour laid down, I'm going to go back into this palette with the darker brown, and I'm just going to, with a little brush, just put a little bit more definition just above there, so we've kind of like faked a soft cut crease. So I'm just going to tap a little bit on, make sure to pat it off to stop fallout, and I'm just going to really, really gently just define the line above just a little bit more. And then just go back in and just blend out, just to make sure that we've kept that definition but we're not getting any hardness. Now I'm going to take the Jeffree Star Morphe palette, and I am going to go into the black, which is Fast Lane, out of this palette. You can use any black you want. I just find that this is a really, really good pigment of black. And then what I'm going to do is go back in with sort of medium-sized fluffy brush, pat just a little bit, you just need a tiny little bit of this, and I'm just going to bang this close to the kind of lash line area and just pat on first of all, and then blend so we've got a little bit of darkness on the outside. Then I'm going to go back in with the brown that we used earlier, and then pack that over the top of the black to kind of bring it back to browny tones with a little bit more darkness, a little bit more depth, just in the outer corners this time. I'm just going to take a really fluffy, clean brush and just literally make sure that there is no harsh edges, because we don't like harsh edges. Not for this look at least. And of course, because we've done our eyes first, any fallout that goes underneath, we can just tidy up. So I'm going to take that fluffy brush again, and then on the outer corner underneath, quite sort of close to the lash line, I am just gonna buff on some darker. And then at the ends kind of blend it out and together. So we've got some marriage at the corners of our eyes. While I've got the palette still open, I am going to go in with this beautiful, like really light gold, and I'm going to pat that onto the inner corners. Ooh. Ooh, that sheen! That sheen! Beautiful. I am also just going to take that just on the brow bone up here as well, because that's so pretty. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of liner. So this one is the Dip It eyeliner from Sleek Cosmetics. It is just literally a liquid eyeliner. So I'm going to line quite close to my lash line to just get some darkness and some depth there. When I get to the end, I'm not sure, I don't think I'm going to do a wing. I think I'm going to just sort of like smoke it out into the eyeshadow. So we've got a smoky wing, and it's a little bit less of a defined eyeliner, but I find that it lasts so much longer. If you have a smoky liner, if you know you're going to be wearing it for a long period of time, wings, they're a little bit kind of temperamental. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to line. And because I do have hooded eyes, I usually start in the middle and then I'll look straight into a mirror and kind of draw the top layer of my eyeliner where I want it to sit so it doesn't go saggy, and then fill in the gaps. And I'm going to take a small angle brush again, and I'm going to go back into the black Fast Lane out of the Morphe Jeffree Star palette, and I'm going to pat that over the top of our eyeliner to kind of give it that little bit of a smoke. And you can see the difference, like from this eye that I've smoked out from that one. It also really helps, like if you're not that steady-handed at doing your liner and you're like, oh, it looks a bit wonky, get a dark shadow and just pat a little bit over the top and just blend out that edge, and it does look super professional. So that is the liner on. I'm next going to take some gel liner and do in my waterline. This is literally the MUA gel liner. Comes in a little bottle like this. I absolutely love this. This lasts so well, it's unbelievable. So I am going to go in with a teeny tiny little brush, a couple of dips, and I'm just gonna line my waterline. And again, gonna go back in with an angle brush, and I'm just going to buff that with a dark brown. I'm actually going to use, so it's a bit warmer underneath, Hi Dude from the Jeffree Morphe Star palette. So go back in with a little brush, and as close to the lash line as possible, I'm just gonna buff out that edge. And don't worry about the underneath being too precise, especially if you are doing eyes first, because you can always go back in and tidy up. And again, I'm just literally going to take a clean fluffy brush. I'm actually just going to go in with sort of like a peachy shade, probably this one, Mr. Diva, and just so it's not too dark, buff that into what we've just gone over. And that'll really help to just, again, soften that line. And then when we do clean up, I'll probably take a lot of that away, but you'll have a little bit left. Lashes next, so I am going to give my lashes a quick curl, and then I'm going to be using the Extension Plus Curl from Marcel. I got this in a beauty box, and I'll tell you something, I would definitely be buying a full size of this because it is one of the best mascaras I've ever actually used. Like if you just want, if you're not going to put lashes on, to just have beautiful, gorgeous lashes, and it gives you results really, really quickly as well. So you can just put a couple of flicks on and you have lashes and you're ready to go. For the time being, we are going to leave the eyes as it is, and I'm going to move on to skin. So today I am using Cover FX Custom Drops. So we're going to make sure that that is completely and utterly covered. I really like this because it's very, very lightweight, but it's got some coverage to it, you know what I mean? This one is in the colour, I think it's NC20 possibly. I actually have no idea because I've lost the sticker off of the bottom, as you do. But it's a really, really nice colour for me anyway. Yeah, I really, really like this foundation. It feels like a quite like thick in consistency as far as liquid foundations go, but it goes on really, really nicely. So we're gonna dot this all around the face and blend in with a body blender. As you can see, that covered up near enough everything. I am going to put a touch of concealer on just underneath my eyes because it's been a hard December so far. So I am going to take the Revolution Pro Conceal Kit. As you can see, it is rather well used, especially the sort of like mid-range. So I'm going to take one that's slightly lighter than my foundation, just to kind of like brighten that under eye area and cover up my bags that certainly are not Chanel. I'm not going to overdo it, I'm just literally going to pat it on just in the areas that I actually need it, and then blend it out, because I find that it tends to concealer is one of those things that can get cakey really, really quickly. And just a beauty blender and blend out. Then I'm just going to set the under eye area and, well, all over basically, but I want to make sure that the under eye area is thoroughly set. So I am going to be picking up, this is actually from W7, this powder, and it's really, really good. So this is the Set It Up FX Finishing Powder. So I am going to just open the tube, dip in my blender, pat it off, and I'm going to pat that just where we put the concealer. And I'm not going to let it sit there. I'm going to kind of more press it into the skin to make sure that this stays all day long and that it's packed in. I'm also going to do down the sides of my nose, my forehead, anywhere really that I get ridiculously oily, or that I find my makeup tends to start to break down faster. You'll find that you'll find certain spots that you'll find that you need to do for you to make your makeup last longer. Then with a little bit of powder I've just got left in the lid, I'm just going to dip that on. I've just got a fan brush, you can use any fluffy brush, and just gently set the rest of your face. If you're prone to like dry skin in winter, I would recommend probably not setting the rest of your face as dramatically as I do, but I mean, like, we're going for long wear here for Christmas. But I mean, on an everyday basis, I really wouldn't say you need to set your face to this extent. So once all that is done, I'm actually going to jump back to eyes. I'm going to do my brows next. Let's get some brows on. So I'm just going to use a really small angled brush and some of the Revolution Pro Brow Pomade. This is in the colour Chocolate. So I know I've already put a little bit on earlier just to kind of keep them in place. So I'm going to go back in with Gimme Brow in the neutral brown. Give them another little quick brush into place with the wand of what brow I do have there, and then just literally fill in your brows as you would like. I like quite a dramatic brow because, as you can see, my brows are a little bit wonky. I did have microblading done a few years ago, but it has faded so much now. I need it done again really, but I'm undecided. I'm undecided as to whether to do it all together. If I do it, who to go with. So if you guys have any recommendations for places to look or people to sort of things to watch out for when choosing someone, by all means let me know. Going to go in with a little bit of contour. This is literally just a random one that I think I had in an advent from last year. I really like it, so I'm going to stamp that on to a stippling brush and then just go ham with the contour. I'm going to try and keep it quite sort of like warm because our eyes are quite dark. We want it to be, you know, quite dramatic. I do like to stipple contour on as well, like versus buffing it into the skin, especially if I do have a fuller coverage foundation on, just in case it happens to move really, so it cuts down, like sort of just stomping it on exactly where you want it, and you can kind of do stippling motions to get it to where you want it to be without disturbing the foundation too much. I don't know why I'm bothering doing my forehead because as many of you may know, I have a fringe which will be coming down after this makeup, but I mean, I guess it looks weird without it. As I'm looking at it now, this is what I would normally do. So we're doing it. I am just going to go in with the Freedom bronzer as well, which is very well used, as you can tell. I'm just going to give that a quick swish and kind of go over top of that because it's a little bit lighter, so we've got that kind of gradient of shadow. I just think it marries it up on your face a little bit. A bit more dimension. And you can bring it forward a little bit more as well because it's a little bit lighter. I'm also going to go in with that and just go around the chin area, get rid of that double chin that's developing from all the mince pies at Christmas. Yes. Get that jawline in shot, yes. Double chin who? And then just blend that down your neck a little bit because you don't want to not like a harsh line. It will look like a 5 o'clock shadow. Speaking from experience here, guys, I am just going to take that lighter bronzer as well, give it a quick swish and just go down the sides of the nose as well and give a little bit of shape there. So just from the beginning of the eyebrows, just onto the bridge and then a little bit down. You can't really see it from in person, which obviously is a good thing if you are going out like this or doing this for a party, but it looks a lot better in pictures, and I just really like it. I feel like it stops my face from being so pale everywhere. I also like to put a little bit just on the bridge of the nose to bring a bit more warmth. And we need a little bit of blush. This is the blush. I've literally been using this forever. These are really good. So this is a creamy matte powder blush from, again, W7. Is there a colour on here or not? Going Out. I really like it. It's a really nice peachy pink. So I'm going to go back in with the same sponge that we used for the same sponge. It's a brush. The same sort of like stippling brush that we used. And I'm just going to pat that on. And I really like to sort of bring it at the minute. My thing is to bring sort of the blush up here into your contour, like onto your sides of your temple. I think it just gives you that like whoosh, upwards look. I love it. It's like adamant. Not for everyone, but I like it. So now that the blush is applied, all we have left to do eye-wise, I think, is maybe a little bit of glitter and lashes. These are the eyes so far. Skin on, eyes nearly done. We just need to put on some lashes. We need lips. My favourite part is next though, highlighter. I have the 24 karat Jeffree Star highlighter, Skin Frost Pro palette. Oh my goodness, these are gorgeous. I have had a few accidents with mine, but I absolutely love them. Like, look at those colours, stunning. I'm gonna take a little fluffy brush and just do some. So I'm gonna take Sarcophagus, which is this gorgeous little fella here. Dab in just a few times. So we like a little bit. Tap off because this stuff is mental. And just start rubbing on the cheeks. Look, so pretty. This one, out of like Jeffree Star, as far as Jeffree Star highlighters go, this one is pretty subtle, which I really like. I love a good glow, but I actually really enjoy a nice little subtle moment as well. Well, I call this subtle. I don't know, this might be a bit extreme for some people, but I absolutely love it. And I feel like if you want to test out highlighter and start using highlighters, Christmas is like the best time to start experimenting, because I think it's totally acceptable if you go a little bit overboard. It's a really good time of year to find your medium of what you like to wear highlighter wise, because it's totally acceptable to go out looking like a glittery disco ball. I'm going to bring that down onto my cheeks a little bit. Whoop. I'm going to highlight, I usually highlight above here. Like I said, I've got fringe, so this will more than likely not be seen, but just in case. And also I know it's there. Oh look, Some people don't like the wet look. I am quite a big fan actually. I really like the shiny look, shall we say. But obviously it's entirely up to you. If you want to go mental like me and just put it everywhere, feel free. I am also going to take a little dab of Legendary and Giza, and I'm just going to put that over the cheek so we have even more highlighter on our face. But oh, it's just so pretty. So I'm just going to dab that on. Just bring that colour back a little bit more into the blush that we put on earlier, but we've got a lovely shine. Again, if you find that you've just gone a little bit overboard, take your beauty blender that you've been using and just pat. You could do that with any sponge really, or just a little bit of face powder and just brush over the top of any areas. It's also really nice for like marrying it if you want to have like, you know, that softening of the lines between, you know, your contour, your blush, your highlight, all of that. Next we're going to put some lashes on. So these, I haven't never tried Primark eyelashes I don't think before. I was like, what the hell's going on? So I picked up quite a few pairs actually. You'll see in a Primark haul coming to a channel soon near you. These eyelashes for £1. I've used these on some clients and oh my goodness, they're really good. They're like the best kept secret. Like, I don't know why people didn't tell me. So these are the wings, so as you can see, they go from there and then you've got like this beautiful thickness at the ends, so it gives you that kind of like fanned out effect. So I am going to pop on these bad boys and then I'm going to be right back. 3, 2, 1. That is that's the lashes on there. I actually really like these. They're kind of like really natural at the front and then you've got the drama at the end. So you've got a little bit of a side lash. Love that. To just jazz up the eyes a little bit, for those of you who are not very adventurous and don't want a full glitter lid, I do not want glitter on today as such because it's a crazy day. I am going to take this little glitter liner. I'll leave the link for these below because they actually come in a pack of 12. They're really good. So it's just a gel glitter liner. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of this on my finger and I'm going to pat that into my inner corner and just have a glitter moment just on the inner corner so we don't go crazy, but just a little touch of sparkle when my camera decides to focus. So we've got a little glam and a little sparkle with No Boost glitter. Glitter liners are so versatile for that kind of thing. I think people have it in their heads that they're just for lining your eyes when, like, you know, I just think that's really pretty. So without using it on your lids, so you've still got a bit of shimmer, we've got a bit of glam and grown up glam on the eye, and then a little pop of glitter. Love it. So the last thing to do is lips. And I am going to be using two things actually out of my advent calendars this year. So if you have been following along with my Vlogmas, I have a Makeup Revolution lip calendar. So I've been opening them every day. If you want to have a nose and see what's inside, if you go over to my Instagram and there is a highlight story of Advent 2019, you will find all of the items that I have unboxed so far in my calendar. So I am going to use this lip liner pencil in Divine and this lipstick, which is Seduce. It is the most glorious, dark, sexy red. Look at that. So it's not so much a Christmas red, but I'm just like, I had to try it. I have to try it. I have to put it on. So I'm going to do that and then I'm going to be right back. And we are done! So that is it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed the finished look. I think it's just a really, really nice, wearable, Christmassy look that you can get away with in the daytime and the evening. I mean, you can get away with a lot of Christmas, and I intend to. I hope you all have an amazing, lovely rest of the countdown to Christmas. Enjoy Christmas Day as well, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, if you've got nothing better to do, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Happy Christmas!